Lanier Sons podcast.
One. The first
Episode
one.
2.
Yeah.
Deuce.
The first one was a resounding success, if I may say so myself. We we asked for 1 like, and we got 1 like, guys. I think that's
Hey,
good.
progress is progress.
Thank you, everybody.
Yes. We wanted somebody to watch the video, and 40 people watched the video. It's an accomplishment within itself, guys.
All right.
That's like a small town in Iowa.
Yes.
So tonight you have Lanier here. You have Ash.
Hey,
Ash is here with us, all the way from New Zealand. Andy McLevin is joining
You
us
already
tonight.
know, mate. Good day. Just about to put some more skis on the Barbie.
Oh God. And from the deepest, darkest reaches of New Jersey, we have Sylvester here with us. Sylvester,
Hello.
how you doing, man?
I'm doing pretty alright.
Syl was a wizard in his former life, so you don't want to mess with Syl. So
Don't do
right.
it.
Well, guys. Well, we got some topics to cover. Got a few
Yes,
topics
indeed.
here. So the first one that we got to talk about, guys, is it's this double standard when it comes down to sex and video games. I'm tired of it, man. I really am. Like, why can my son decapitate somebody? My son, 3 years old. Why can't he decapitate somebody? But God forbid if he sees a titty, his future's ruined. You know what I mean? Like, it doesn't make it doesn't make any sense. You know what I'm
It
saying? Like,
doesn't.
why should I be scared for my son to see a titty and not be scared of an active shooter or something? He over here thinking he playing Call of Duty. And I'm like, son, you about to die, dude. But he sees a titty or whatever, he gets scared and runs away, hides his face. I'm like, wait a minute. I was like, video games did this to my kid, dude. That's what I think.
And like, don't we show titties to infants like on a regular basis? Newborn.
Facts.
Something?
You have a fact there.
Like, at what age does the titty become inappropriate?
I don't know.
I would say it's at a point where, I guess you could say, for lack of better terms, self-awareness becomes involved. When there's an understanding of anatomy, perhaps.
I think we need to shut down the titties. That's what I think. So that's what I think. I think we need to shut them down. I think we need.
That's a controversial statement.
I don't care. We need to freaking...
Define shut down.
Women couldn't vote in 2013. They don't need to be showing their titties now. Okay?
Whoa!
That's all I gotta say.
Whoa! Hey now, there, guy. Hey, guy. Wait a minute.
Nah, I'm just. But I don't. You know, I don't understand it. Like,
Well, I look at it this way. Just lightly touching on my own experience, since I can stay anonymous here. I was exposed to I guess you could say sexuality at a very young age. Did it have negative effects overall? I'd say no. Did it change my perspectives of some things? Yes. And bisexuality, I mean, I was exposed to what's that channel? Not HBO, but the other one that shows
Cinemax?
Showtime?
Yes, Cinemax. That's what it was. Yeah, I was shown some Cinemax movies at a very young age before I really needed to know what was what. Do I blame the person that exposed me to it? No. Did it have some effects on me? Yes, but overall, I'm a pretty stable person, if I say so myself.
You know, speaking of those premium channels,
Oh, Here we go.
You know, when I would go over to my great grandmother's house,
Oh boy,
and for whatever reason, she had every single premium channel.
bruh.
I think she was still in cable or something. Okay, I don't know, but
I think I know where this is going.
boy, let me tell you something. She go to bed at like 8 o'clock. When 10 o'clock hit, it was on.
Bruh.
It was on.
Ooh.
I would turn that junk on, dude, and it would just be the craziest softcore porn you'd ever see in your life. And I would like have it on mute, but I wanted to hear it, so I would turn it to like 1 and put my ear to the TV.
Oh God.
I'm a man. So,
I confession time on my end. I went to stay the night at a friend's house once when I was 12 or 13, and we were sleeping in his living room when his parents went to bed, and he was just like, "Hey, I'm going to turn on the TV," and I was like, "Okay," and he did, and he turned it to Cinemax, and it was this movie doing something. I don't know. She worked in like an office or something. And next thing you know, she's like laying in bed, and it's like this dream sequence, and this dude's just very gently going to town on her. And I was just like, what's going on here? I was like half awake, and like I wasn't entirely sure what was going on, but I was just like, I'm 13, and this is my sexual awakening.
I
Whoa.
love the phrase "gently going to town."
there's no other way to describe it. Like, it was he was working it, but it was like the camera lens, and it was just like really gentle and like loving, and I was just like, what is going on here?
That's funny.
But we're gonna talk about sex in video games.
yep, we're just talking about.
You spend
We just
so
went
much
on the-
money on jiggle physics.
But you know, to get to the point though of the topic,
Mm.
y'all know about the game House Party, right?
Heard about it.
House Party is a
Right.
game. I'm sorry, what did you say, Sil?
I'm sorry, I keep missing my push to talk button. I just said I had only heard about it.
Oh Lord. House Party is a game where you go to a house party and basically you either follow the story of the girls that are there or you try and sleep with one. It's super raunchy. It's super adult or whatever. You can take out your penis or whatever. And you can literally masturbate until you come on somebody.
Oh my.
And the girl will be like, "Oh, that's just what I needed." And I was like,
What?
"Yeah, man, it's nuts." And well, basically what happened was, you know, it had gained some traction. A lot of big YouTubers were covering the game and stuff, but I guess there was some issues with, oh no, there's a titty showing. There was nudity in the game, and then some people got butt hurt because, I guess you could like get a girl drunk or whatever for her to sleep with you,
Oh.
which I don't. Here's and this is my opinion. It may not be very favorable unless you're pouring the bottle down somebody's mouth. If they are conscious and awake enough to give you, to give you consent or whatever, it's consent. Okay, just because they drunk alcohol, you drunk alcohol too. You know what I'm saying? Like, I think it should go both ways. I don't think there should be a double standard there. Now, if a girl straight up can't even get her words together to say yes, you don't have you should probably leave. You should probably go someplace else. But if she's had something to drink or whatever, I don't think that constitutes as her not consenting just because she drunk something. Now, if you
My
force,
apologies.
Oh no.
No, my computer decided to have an ultimate conniption, so
Oh Lord. Oh no,
yeah.
you're fine, man. You know, it's just one of those things. But I can see how it could be taken into a bad context, basically. You know what I'm
Well,
saying?
here's the whole thing with that. There has to be a distinctive, invisible, whatever you want to call it. There has to be some sort of boundary or line to draw between what is reality and what is perceived reality, or in this case, what is art or video games. And albeit a lot of times some things may be depicted in such ways, it's all fictional. Even though some of these may be based off events or, stories or what have you, at the end of the day, it's not real. Why should something not real affect something that is real? Meaning, what is depicted in a video game affect what is going on in reality?
Yep, I agree. I agree. I mean, you got shooting games every day. If shooting games really were affecting people, you'd have. I mean, people be shooting each other every day. I guess. Right. Right.
The purge would be real.
Right. 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 Right.
Yeah, I guess it's just. I think that's a tough one. I mean, we live in America, and people tend to be a lot more sensitive to sexual subjects as opposed to violence.
Which is just sad.
Yeah. I think I could see why some people would have a problem with that. I mean, it's you have like kids watching this stuff on YouTube and stuff. If they stumble upon like a big YouTuber playing this game, and they see the YouTuber playing this game, and their character takes this girl to the bedroom, and she's drunk, and they have sex. It's like that a lot of people don't. A lot of people see the influence of alcohol, kind of. A lot of people see being under the influence of alcohol as being like in an altered state that doesn't allow you to have the clarity of mind to actually give consent.
Well,
And
But shouldn't that go for men as well though?
right.
yeah.
Shouldn't it be like shouldn't it kind of, this is gonna sound really stupid, but shouldn't they be like offsetting penalties like in football? Like, I mean, like,
But here's
shouldn't it-
here's one word that puts all of that to rest. Responsibility. Can you say it with me? Responsibility.
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 All right.
It's I guess it's just like we live in a culture where girls have to like watch their drinks and stuff because sometimes like really shitty guys will put like stuff in it and drug them or the knock them out with like Rufalin or something like that. And I like it's a really sensitive thing, and
It's not black and white. That's for sure.
Yeah, I was saying
it's a really complex topic, and maybe one that a video game, it maybe in just its depiction of just like trying to just sleep with the woman of your choice in the movie isn't equipped to handle with nuance.
Yeah, but here's the thing with that too. Just going back to that subject really briefly. One, there is again the whole thing of age of consent. She's aware of the type of, or at least I would hope that she'd be aware of the type of environment that she's exposing herself to, whether it be in a party setting, sorry, as depicted in the game, or out in a public outing or what have you. She has to be responsible enough to say, hey, if I'm going to consume alcohol or what have you, am I going to be responsible enough to one, know my limits, and two, understand my surroundings enough to know whether it's a good idea to even make that choice to begin with. So I'm not saying it's perfect in every case, but sometimes it can be avoided by just taking that extra step to be responsible and consider the decisions that you're making, not just, oh, I'm having a good time, let's go off on the deep end.
Yeah.
You know, I'm sorry. Go ahead, Ash.
Oh, I guess some people can construe that as like a girl drunkenly giving consent to a guy could be construed as like some people could see that as like the guy taking advantage of the girl, and it happens vice versa too.
Right.
But it seems to happen like disproportionately more to women than it does to men.
Well, I can vouch and
and
say it's happened to me.
yeah.
Oh no. Oh
Yeah, that's
a
another
whole
story
nother,
for another
that's
time.
a whole nother story. But to proceed
Yeah.
though, what happened was the game has a lot of raunchy stuff, as nudity, as masturbating and coming on people, and then
What? I didn't know it had that in it.
yeah.
Oh
And then
God.
it had that going on too. It was just a full on adult, mature experience. It was, and it's super goofy. Okay.
Well,
They had
before
it.
you,
Go ahead.
I was just gonna say real quick, what they should have considered in the first place, or at least as far as Steam is concerned, they knew what kind of game it was before they released it. So for them to have let it get published anyway, that's their own fault. They shouldn't have drew the leash, so to speak, on them for letting them release the game, and then because of the backlash that it was going to get from the media, for them to pull it just to save their own behinds. They knew what kind of game it was. They should have said no to begin with, or been like, hey, maybe you should launch it on this platform or that platform, and that'd been the end of that. Like many of the other AO games that have come out in the past, they launched independently, or they had some. Oh, well,
it's not
still.
rated. A
even
lot
still.
of the games that are on Steam right now are not
Right.
subject to the ESRB.
Oh, okay.
Even down to Hatred. Hatred wasn't rated for the longest. Hatred got rated just because it wanted to expand, as far as I know.
Right.
Don't quote me on that. But basically, Steam don't have no quality control. I mean, Steam.
Oh, okay. Well, there's that too.
Steam leaves it up to the community to police themselves. And basically, to kind of proceed on the subject, what had happened was they ended up, there's a lot of attention. Steam got in contact with the developer and made them take it down to straighten it up, basically. Now, and then they censored it, but when they released it, they put in the discussion forums a link to the developer's
unlock it
to just go ahead and unlock it as a workaround. So they
like the hot coffee mod,
basically.
Oh.
So essentially, they understood what was going on. But the question that I have for the three of you is, why is it? And we'll cover this real quick and move on to our next topic.
Right.
But why is it that games that have sex in them in our country, America, have such a target on them, whereas you have games like Hatred that's on Steam right now, no qualms. You have all these super violent games. You can decapitate somebody. You can kill this, kill that. Basically, there's killing in every single game. Killing, which has way higher, consequences, in real life than having sex would. You know what I'm saying? Or seeing a titty. You know what I mean? Like,
I have an answer. It all comes down to politics, and forgive me for being so blunt, and I hope the government doesn't come after me for saying what I have to say, but I feel like the underlying ideals of this country are built on power and domination. How many times have you heard people of the United States brag or feel pride about how powerful this country is in comparison to other countries that we've either had conflicts or currently do have conflicts with, or by the people that enter into the country? And again, politics, it's it's taboo to have sexuality on such a forefront in comparison to places like Amsterdam, for example, where it's casual conversation. Because there's a set demographic of people in this country that have their own set ideals and ways of what is proper and what is improper, or what is politically correct and incorrect. And if they feel it goes against their own agenda, which a lot of times many things that do, because video games are so powerful, that they feel like their agenda has to be pushed forward, which cause and effect causes things like what happened with the party game, for example.
I guess that makes sense. You know, Sil, what's your take on it, man?
Personally, I kind of feel like it does have a lot to do with the whole American taboo on sex that we have, because we are pretty prude as a country. But also I feel like it has a lot to do with the fact that video games are still, I guess, widely considered by most of the general public, i.e. parents of small children, as like more of a hobby rather than a actual platform for media in and of itself. And I feel like, in addition to that, people just aren't paying attention to what the hell their kids are doing on the damn internet. Like, you never hear anything about like net nannies or whatever the more accurate word for what I'm thinking about is. Those like child blocker things that were real popular when dial-up was still cool, that you never hear anything about
Parental
anymore.
control.
Yeah. Like, that's like virtually not even a thing anymore as far as I'm personally aware. But then again, I don't have kids. I've never looked into anything like that. But you never see nothing about it no more.
Mm-hmm.
Tori, what's your take on it, man?
I really think it's just a cultural thing. It's going back a long ways. Like, Americans just seem to find violence more palatable than sex. And I think just as a culture, I think that's just one of our quirks. We're a culture that's not really inclined to talk openly or experience openly sexual themes in any of our media, whether it's in film or in video games. Well, I guess not in all media, because you'll hear like sexual themes in music, and I guess in film, there are sex scenes and stuff, but like explicit sexuality is still just not some. It's something. I'm having trouble explaining what I'm trying to get out. Explicit sexuality is still considered really taboo in America, and I think until we can kind of move beyond that, explicit sexual themes in our media are always going to be kind of seen with a raised eyebrow and what the hell is this sort of reaction. It does seem silly that we're more open to like violence and stuff than sex, because sex is just a natural thing. It's a natural part of life. It's how new. It's just part of being. While violence, is violence is never really necessarily something we want to experience in our everyday lives. It's kind of backwards to me, but I just think as a country we're not there right now, and I in some ways I can see why, and in some ways I think it's kind of dumb, but it is what it is.
You know, my take on it, and I'm gonna say it real quick because we're already 25 minutes in.
Damn.
We've been having a lot of fun. Um, I understand how our culture is, and while I don't agree with it, I think a good solution would be for these companies, the average age of a gamer, and I quote this from Review Tech USA. The average age of a gamer, do y'all know what it is?
It's in the 30s, isn't it?
It is 35 years old.
Seriously?
Kids aren't gaming. Adults are gaming.
Hmm.
Kids are, kids they play, whatever
Mhm.
game. The real
Minecraft.
true, yeah, the real true gamers are the ones that are the ones basically paying for the software, for the hardware.
Hmm.
It's adults playing this stuff.
Mm-hmm.
The game industry needs to treat us like adults. I'm sick of it. I'm sick of them thinking that we're not adults.
I
If
can agree with that.
if if I can go in and buy my 3-year-old freaking Call of Duty Black Ops 3, as gruesome as that one was, I I should be able to play a game uncensored on what I would consider the freest platform there is, which is the PC platform.
Right.
That's all I'm gonna have to say about that. And I hope that gradually, as we go on, people start seeing the PC platform or gaming as a whole as more of an art, like they do with movies and stuff like that, rather than
Mm-hmm.
something that little kids play. You know what
Mm-hmm.
I'm saying? Because it ain't. It ain't.
No.
It's
Well,
far from it. I mean,
gaming's been moving pretty far past its stereotype for the better part of like the last 15 years at least.
yeah.
So
Because I mean, think about it. When you think about top games, the biggest sellers, basically all of them are M-rated except for the Nintendo titles. All of
True.
them.
See, I was just about to say, I feel like a lot of the reason why people still associate gaming with children to such an extent is because of just Nintendo's like ridiculous marketing power. Like if you ask like anybody like over the age of like 40 or just like anybody who like does not play video games to just name a video game character off the top of their head, it's probably going to be like Mario.
Well, I feel like. Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off.
Oh no, that was it.
But yeah, I feel like too. It started. I feel like it started back in the '80s when video games were really coming out. Thinking about just that generational gap, the adults at that time weren't for at least for the mass majority weren't looking to play video games. It was a children's toy. It was a novelty item. It was something to entertain children and younger people. But of course, as time has evolved and people of our time have come along and become adults, and ones maybe even slightly before our time, the demographic and the maturity rate, I guess you could say, of it has changed vastly as a scope. And like you were saying too, as far as comparing video game as an art to music and movies. I mean, think about the hottest songs that are out right now. How many of them are talking about something sexual or in just for example the hip hop industry? How many people have killed somebody on a track? or even in movies, like just pulling out the biggest example, 50 Shades of Grey. That movie, that in itself, just come on now.
But
And that was in theaters. Come on,
But let there be a 50 Shades of Grey video game. See what happens.
bro. Riots in the streets.
Right. All right,
I
guys.
bought-
man.
We're at a half hour, so we're gonna
Yeah.
move on.
All right.
Okay. Our next.
Because we can talk about that all day.
Right. Our next topic, real quick, and we'll try and get through this one. Early access games.
Oh.
Early access games.
Mhm.
Sil, we're gonna start with you first, man.
Oh boy.
Hmm?
Okay, prime example today.
Every time,
Playing.
Phil, hold on, I'm
Huh?
sorry. Every time I say Sil, you think I'm saying Phil?
Oh, my bad.
No, it's fine. It's
No, it's okay. I've also been thinking that's been happening. Like earlier, you just asked him how he was doing. I'm like, oh yeah, I'm good. I already said that. So.
My bad. I forget I have to go buy my alias. Sorry about that, Sil.
Nah, you are right. But I will say I will admit that I don't have a terrible amount of experience with early access games. I think the only one I've ever really played to any kind of extent was 7 Days to Die, and I thought it was pretty fun. I didn't have any super major complaints other than the fact that I played it for like a really, really long time and like just left the same graphics settings on and never realized that they had upgraded them really significantly. But that was mostly just my fault because I don't pay attention. I don't read like patch notes or anything. So that was mostly on me. But I don't know. I think early access games are pretty cool. I mean, sometimes they suck, but like, it's not like they don't tell you that it's not done yet. I don't have anything terribly intelligent to say. I'm sorry.
No, you're fine. That's a good point. Tori, you wanna go next?
I'm kind of in the same boat. I haven't played a terribly large amount of early access games, mostly because I'm kind of apprehensive about how much content I'm gonna get from them. I like the idea of early access games, and kind of getting a window into like seeing how games progress as they get developed more and more. But I kind of worry about like when I put down money on a game, I want to have like a completed game, admittedly, not something that's still being worked on. And I always kind of worry with early access games that like they might quit developing the game like halfway through, or it'll end up like kind of falling short of expectations when it's all finished. Or in the case of one game I played, I can't remember what it was. I started playing it and it was kind of content thin, and then as they kept adding stuff in, I was just kind of like, I've already played this. I've kind of gotten all I wanted out of it, and I don't want to play it anymore. I think the idea of early access, I have apprehensions about it.
Andy, what's your thoughts on it?
Well, I played a couple of early accesses over the years. Of course, the most popular right now is PlayerUnknown's, and it has its own quirks. But I mean, I appreciate having that type of perspective into a developing concept and being able to see I guess you could say art transform in its process. But what I'm seeing a big pattern with as far as early access games go is, granted, they are releasing the game early, and of course it's not finished, but I feel like the biggest focus that any developer that's going to put out something before it's finished should be network stability. That is the most consistent problem that I see across the board with any and every game. Granted, there are bugs in 90% of the early access games because, of course, it's in development. Like, just two examples, or another example would be like I played Project Cars when it was first being built. Yes, it was beautiful in concept, but it was kind of broken. So I do appreciate it from the perspective that they're allowing us to be able to, I guess you could see the art in the making. But I feel like the process in doing it is there's a lack there.
That's a good take. Honestly, with early access games, I have only seen a few, and I mean a few, games that have gone early access actually make it to full status and be successful. I've only seen a handful, and I think the reason is, and don't quote me on this, but a lot of the games that I've played that have been early access ultimately never got finished. These guys put these games on Steam, got their money, and ran. They don't finish the game.
Yeah.
DayZ. Let me let me see, let me see when DayZ came out. Let me look this up. DayZ is one of the prime culprits of this. Is DayZ even on? Oh my God, DayZ is marked at $35. You gotta be kidding me. DayZ came out December 16th, 2013, and it is still in early access. Okay? And they asked the question, and this is on every single early access. There's a Q&A on the main page, and it says, approximately, how long will this game be in early access? This is what these guys said. I kid you not. At the current time, the core development of the base DayZ game is projected to run between 2 to 5 to 3 to 5 years, putting the departure from early access at approximately mid-2017. We are past mid-2017.
Mhm.
Not even close. And there ain't been nothing said about it. It's astonishing. It is absolutely mind-boggling. I'm telling you, these guys got their money
Yeah.
and they said, we're done. Oh my God. And then you have, and I don't care how many people bought it. I was one of the people who bought it myself. Ark Survival Evolved.
Oh God.
Mm,
Doubled in price for its full release.
doubled in price and didn't do anything to optimize the game. Game's supposed to be going live this month. As of 12:01 a.m. right now, August 1st, it's releasing at the end of this month. And I heard it still runs like garbage. Still runs like trash. Y'all adding dinosaurs to the game. Y'all adding all these features to the game, but it can't run?
I actually played that one, and that was exactly my issue with it. It just ran like doo-doo garbage on my computer.
Oh,
There's no reason for somebody to have a 1080 Ti and barely crack 60 1080p.
What was the name of that game where it had the 3 guys on the cover that came out recently? It was an adventure game, like from medieval times. I can't think of the name of it right now. But it just now got a fix, and that game's been out at least 6 months and was broken from day one.
I can tell you.
You said it was a medieval game?
Yeah, it looked like... that's going to bug me. I'm trying to see if I can find it. I know it's on Steam. I just can't think of the name of it right now.
What genre is it?
It's a online multiplayer, but it's like a... It reminds me of Skyrim. I just can't think of the name of it right now.
So it's like an MMO?
Maybe, was it Crusader Kings?
No, not that game.
That's a grand strategy.
Yeah. Or
no, this one wasn't. It was like a... God dang it! That's gonna bug me. I can't think of the name of it right now.
For Honor?
Yes, that is it. That's it.
Oh my!
Yes, that game is so broken. That's it. I couldn't think of the name of it for the life of me.
Oh man.
Yeah. They just now released a patch for it, and that game's been out since February.
They didn't nearly get my money. They didn't nearly get mine. Then these early access games like Ark, you can't fix your game. You can't work on the bugs, but you can release paid DLC. Are you serious?
Yes, yes.
The audacity, and I ain't talking about the app. I mean, really. Are we gonna do this? Like,
yeah.
I can't
I
imagine what
feel
I
like,
can't imagine what it runs like on console.
oh god,
Has anybody played on console?
no.
Oh my god! I mean, really? Like console? It can't run on the PC.
Facts.
What is it gonna on console? It's by low settings, not even low settings. It's subpolar settings to run on a console.
Oh lord.
The dinosaurs don't even have skin. I bet.
Oh god. That's bad when it can't even run on the platform it was built on.
They can't render the skin. Okay.
Final Fantasy VII model dinosaurs.
Oh no. Oh no.
Man,
Oh
I
no.
can't deal with it, dude.
I feel like games shouldn't be able to, at least let me scratch that. I feel like developers shouldn't be able to charge any type of monetary until they reach beta stage, and that's with a set release date.
I think it should be up to Steam. Like this,
Mhm.
there's nothing that the community can do about this.
Nope.
Other than not buy the game. But
Yep.
Steam needs to be held accountable for making these guys finish these projects.
Yeah. If you're going to release on our platform, here's your contract guidelines. You have until this time. You say that this is how long it's going to take the game. If you don't reach it by this date, hey, we're going to penalize you.
And you know what else? You know what else they should do? And I don't care who says we're entitled or whatever. We paid for it. We can be entitled to whatever we want. We can get this for free. Anyway, and tell me I'm wrong, and I'll kill each and every one of you. Okay.
Oh, no. Oh, God.
I'll tell you how they fix early access. They have the refund window wide open the whole time.
That wouldn't be too bad.
Refund window should be open the whole time while you're in early access.
I think that's all you'd have to do. Just make that the rule, and then people can kind of come and go with their money as they please.
Exactly.
Yep.
They pay to try the game out. If it sucks, they get their money back. If they decide they want to keep it and ride along with you during the updates and everything, then they can do that. Or if they get done with it and you didn't put enough content in the game for whatever reason, they get their money back at the end and they ride.
Speaking of that, which is just a sidebar, which we all know that Destiny's never going to release on Steam because Microsoft does what they want. How do you guys feel about the fact that people who tried to return their betas from retail can't now, and they're losing money on refunds?
Don't pre-order.
Facts.
Don't pre-order.
Yeah.
Just don't pre-order. That's all I got. That's all I got. Don't pre-order.
Straight like that.
Just don't pre-order.
Because from everybody I've heard talk about it, they said the beta was trash. So.
Oh yeah. So you got anything to add to that one other than not pre-order?
I've heard really mixed reviews about the Destiny beta. I haven't played it, and to be completely honest, I'm not that terribly interested. I wasn't very impressed with the first Destiny. It was fun, but after I did all the story quests or whatever, I'm not good at first person shooters, so I didn't really. I mean, it was like a diet first person shooter. I kind of felt like, because I was still shooting at it. I don't get those.
Right.
It kind of there was an aim assist and everything. I could feel it correcting me, and I sort of appreciated that because it was all stat based or whatever. However the hell the stats in Destiny worked, I didn't pay attention that hard. But they marketed Destiny like an MMO, and it definitely was not that. And from what I heard, it was really
not even close.
Destiny 2 felt a lot like Destiny 1, and I wasn't super jazzed about that.
People call it Destiny 1.5. I saw somebody's video and it was titled Destiny 1.5. I was like, no. right,
How
guys.
sad.
We are at the 45th minute. So let's go on to. Did everybody have anything else they wanted to add to the early access?
Nah.
Okay.
Nope.
All right. Last one, and this is how we're gonna do it. Okay. What you're gonna do? We're gonna talk about conspiracy theories. All right.
Oh boy.
You have to talk about one conspiracy theory. One. We won't get into this huge debate about it, but you will choose one conspiracy theory that you 100% believe in.
Oh.
Okay? There's no theory about it whatsoever. You've cracked the code. You know what's going on. You know everything about what's happening. All right? You have the answers.
Mm.
Okay?
Oh boy.
Oh boy.
So, um one conspiracy theory.
As someone who doesn't follow conspiracy theory, what should I do?
You cut out, Tori. I'm sorry.
Oh, as someone who doesn't follow conspiracy theories very closely,
Just
what
look at-
what should I do?
Trust me, there may be something that you didn't even think was a conspiracy, and it may be a conspiracy. Maybe just a big event that you believe happened. It doesn't even have to be a conspiracy, but like a big event that took place that, you know, you can talk about our election. There's conspiracy theories going on about that.
Yeah, that's true.
The election that we just had. They think there was some collusion going on. That's
I feel
a
like
whole
they
nother
Olivia
video.
Pope the election.
You know what? That's a good point. And you know what? I guess on that note, I'll just start off then. I think Trump colluded with Russia. I think he's just not admitting it, and I hope that he does, and that he's just like, hey, I did this, so I guess I'll go to jail for a little bit, and I hope you can all forgive me. Thanks. But he's not going to.
Yep. Speaking of which, too, the whole Hillary email thing. If they really believe she leaked some real information, she'd have never been heard of ever again. They'd have went and got her.
She
They had a conversation in a hole somewhere.
she would be Edward Snowden Sr. She'd be in
Exactly.
another country right now, dude.
Exactly. Like if she really leaked some real information, oh, they would have been talking about it.
That would have been treason. No,
Yeah.
I think it's been investigated, and I don't think anyone's turned up anything serious. So
Right.
it just seems like it was just a distraction
Facts.
to discredit Hillary during the presidential campaign.
I agree.
I mean, I don't think she's a perfect. She was a perfect person, nor was she probably the best candidate choice for the Democratic Party. But it's that was a load of just hoopla.
Andy McLovin, what's yours?
Besides those two, other than that, I don't really follow the ghost stories. I mean, I have opinions about the events that have happened, but none that I've actually researched.
Sil, you got any before I start? Cause mine's a doozy.
Oh boy.
No.
Well, as far as things that I actually believe, that one's pretty tough. But I will say the one thing that I can listen to things about endlessly and I just find interesting as all MFN Get Out would be this whole school of thought about, and this is totally about aliens. This is going there.
Oh,
Okay.
beautiful.
Shit forever. Ooh, I said bad word. For not doing that or not. But no, I don't think we can monetize this video now. Sorry.
It's okay.
Might be. But no, it's this theory about how like Earth is this weird kind of like incubator for consciousness, and that these like Egyptian god-headed aliens called like the Anunnaki or whatever, like came down and like tried to get all of the Earth's resources, and they like created humanity from like, I don't know, some space nonsense, and like basically made us as slaves to like, I don't know, mine resources out of the earth or whatever. But there was some kind of really overcomplicated uprising that there's like 45-minute long videos of crazy people talking about on the internet. And it's like some kind of like whacked out crazy sci-fi novel, only these people just like totally legitimately believe that this stuff is real. And
You know,
I'm kind of almost envious of their ignorance. I don't mean like ignorance in like any kind of negative connotation, but like
No,
the
I
reality
understand that.
just sounds a lot more interesting than mine.
True.
And I like looking into that.
That's cool.
You know, I've heard that
That's
theory.
interesting.
I like that theory.
It's super interesting. It's like a space opera only for crazy people.
I think you just described. I hope I don't get sued saying this, but I think you just described Scientology.
Actually, like totally. I think it probably has a lot of. I don't think it's Scientology specifically, because like the people that talk about this are also talking about like whacked out like ancient Enochian magic, and like John Dee and Edward Kelly talking to angels in space and shit.
Oh wow,
And
yeah, that's way crazier.
Yeah, no, the lady I linked in Discord is like all about like connecting to your holographic reality and all that, and it's just it's super.
Oh,
it's super.
I
neat.
thought that was something about computers.
No, she's a crazy person.
All right. Oh, sorry. Silly, your mic's so quiet.
It is.
It
I'm
is,
sorry.
though.
I'm like I'm using like a dollar store headset.
Oh, it's a struggle.
We had to open a GoFundMe or something for Seal.
I
Lord
ordered
Jesus.
one
Oh,
off of
man.
Amazon.
Oh,
It
you
should
just
be
ordered
getting
one?
here tomorrow or else. Yeah, I ordered one like as soon as I got home and almost lit my house on fire with my other headset.
Oh god.
Oh god.
Dude, Seal's audio about to be lit here in a second, man. Here's mine. We ain't even gonna get into this one. I'm gonna tell y'all what we're gonna say. We're gonna wrap the video up. September 11th, 2001.
Oh no.
There was a terror attack on our country in multiple locations within the United States. In New York, when you think about 9/11, you think about New York. What's the first thing that comes to mind?
The towers.
The towers. How many towers?
Deuce.
Wrong. Y'all know there was 3 towers that fell that day, right? There
What?
was the Twin Towers, right?
Mhm.
There's North and South Tower, and there was World Trade Center Building 7 that was
Really?
near. That nothing hit it, and it exploded. Correction, it imploded.
What?
It was a controlled demolition, and it fell to the ground.
What?
It was covered on the news that day. It fell. That building fell maybe an hour or two after the original 2 fell. Okay?
Wow.
Guys, I know us as Americans, I know we may love our country or whatever, but you gotta take off the flag color glasses here a little bit. And this is something that this is something that stuck with me ever since it happened 16 years ago. Guys, nothing hit that building. You can argue all day about the original 2 because something did hit them. Nothing hit that building. World Trade Center Building 7 came down and not a thing hit it. I don't have to post no pictures. I'm not gonna post anything. I'm not gonna put no links down. You can Google it. Cause all the news outlets covered it when it fell. They all covered it. It's not a secret. But man, I'm telling you, it's one of those things that like us as Americans, we don't want to look at, we don't want to think about, we don't want to talk about it, and we aren't going to. We're gonna talk about why Colin Kaepernick hasn't been signed yet. That's what.
Yes, that.
That's what we're
That.
gonna talk about. We're gonna talk about fidget spinners. We can't talk about that, man.
Hey, fidget spinners are serious.
I have fidget spinners.
I'm not saying, I'm not going on this tirade saying that it was an inside job, because it's a debate that I don't want to have. It's an opinion that I don't want to label my country as. But there's something not right about the whole thing. Let's forget about jet fuel and all that, because that's a meme now. There's some definitely wrong about the way that those buildings fell. All of them, actually. Those buildings fell straight down. Impossible.
Yeah,
How
that
do you-
was almost like a lateral strike, like what they did in that movie Stealth.
I didn't see stuff.
Oh God, how did you not see that movie?
It's one of those things where like, how do the airplanes hit at the top, but they implode from the bottom and fall straight down? You gotta think, guys. You could play with Legos right now, and you'll see what happened.
I've seen footage of it. It doesn't make sense.
But nobody's gonna talk. This is one of those things. Something bad happened, guys. Something bad happened, and it ain't what the media told us. Something bad happened, but we'll leave it at that, man. So 16 years ago. So
Yeah.
Man,
I've joined the military and gotten out by since then. So it's just one of those things.
this
So
man,
go ahead.
what a roller coaster of a podcast.
Yeah, I think I had a lot of fun discussing the topics we did.
Yeah.
This was fun, and I really anticipate on doing some more. I may upload some goofy videos here and there, or maybe just something I just want to cover. But these podcasts, I would at least want to do 2 a week.
Yeah, I can dig it.
At least do 2 a week, because Ash, I know you got work on the weekends and stuff like that. It just seems like nighttime would be a good time to get these out and everything. And shit, please share with your friends.
Yep.
It's just one of those things you can just turn on put an earbud in while you're working in.
Oh man, I listen to podcasts all day. That's all I do.
Yeah, just listen. I love hearing. Talk radio is my favorite type of radio. So
Yeah.
YouTube, I love it. So.
Well, I definitely think we should maybe do a lighter line of discussion for the next one. So
This was some deep topics.
yeah. We'll have to think of something stupid to talk about. But we'll consider that when we're not live.
Yeah. All right. Anything else? Anybody's got?
Hey. Have a great day.
Andy?
I got nothing.
Seal?
That was really fun. Let's try to get a goal of at least another like.
Can we please get 1 like? Somebody, just a like. Just like us.
2 likes.
Subscribe and like us, dude. Subscribe. We're Lanier Sons. Podcast since 1934. Okay? Just come on.
Right.
We want money. I don't even think this isn't gonna be monetized, by the way. This video here ain't getting monetized at all.
Bruh.
Yeah, no, I don't want the federal government.
Man, we need to get that Twitch money.
Oh no.
Twitch
All
actually
right.
pays.
All right. Till next time, everybody.
Please.
Bye.
Bye. Lanier and Sons. Lanier and Sons. Lanier and Sons. Lanier and Sons. Sons. Lanier and Sons. Lanier and Sons. Lanier